Good morning,
Hi,
Chloe.
Whitener. How are ya?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm
Chloe,
super great.
you have a glow about you. You look
Thank
like
you.
you're in a wonderful mood.
I really am.
The
It
sun is
also-
shining.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's making me glow is because I'm now sitting in front of a window.
Natural light.
Natural light is the best light.
It's true. As I sit here in front of like these three like lights that I purchased, I'm like, oh yes,
I mean,
natural
you got a
light.
sunrise behind you. That's natural.
But yes, that's why I have the sunrise behind me. So it looks like, at least there's a little bit of natural light. Anywho,
You also seem to
morning.
be in a good mood. You also seem to be in a good mood.
Yes, I'm I'm about 2 cups of coffee in. So
good.
I'm feeling good. Looks like you're hydrating, which is good. I should probably do that a little bit as well. Hydration break. Hydration is important.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Exactly. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Hello World. As you can see, it's our no budget, low cussing good time. It is November 9th. Chloe, how was your weekend?
Oh, my weekend was great. I frolicked amongst the trees in the JP Arboretum.
Oh, I love the JP Arboretum.
Yeah, and that was on Saturday, and there were a lot of people out and about celebrating, making noise, dancing.
Yeah, there is many reasons to be celebrating in the streets, but there are also many reasons to just stay home and celebrate in your living room.
Safe choices.
Yes, safe choices. I love seeing all the crowds out on like, gathering in front of the White House, gathering where when Biden was giving his victory speech, all that good stuff. But I was like looking at masks. I was like, okay, mask. That guy doesn't have a mask on.
No one doesn't
Put
have
a mask on.
Yeah.
So
I get this feeling of like, whenever I see footage of people celebrating in large groups, I'm like, yeah, it's so great, but I'm going to stay over here.
Yeah. It was so. What was that video? You showed us that video, right? Where all the guys were standing in their yards, like yelling at each other, like talking. Yeah. I feel like that's how all these things should be.
Yeah.
But people are just so happy.
They're so hyped. And can you blame them?
I can't. We just got to get to January. We just
got to
make it a few more months.
Couple more months.
Yeah. So it's very exciting. We've got a fantastic show today, and I know I say that on a weekly basis, but it's a great show. I'm super excited. Before we start,
it's nice to be hyped about what you're doing.
You know what? It really is. And I'm just, this show has definitely given me that over the course of the past like 4 months is a reason to get up on Monday morning.
We all need one. This is ours.
So today in particular is a very special day because it's National Scrapple Day.
Scrapple?
Yes, Scrapple. And I was really banking on the fact that you not knowing what Scrapple was, Chloe.
I don't know what Scrapple is.
Oh, I'm so happy. So Scrapple, I'm just going to pull up I've got a little recipe here on All Recipes.
Oh, it's a food.
It is a food, yes. It is a food that consists of lots of different pork parts.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's pork. It's pork. That is like, and it looks like it's also got sweetened condensed milk.
Oh dear.
Cornmeal and ground black pepper. And then you basically make that into a loaf and you get something beautiful.
Oh no.
And normally gray is not a good color for food, but for Scrapple, gray is the perfect color.
I don't I'm speechless.
Yep. Chat is not having it right now.
Chat is not
a couple people are into. I think Scrapple is very polarizing.
I think
you either love it or you hate it.
We don't need to see.
Look at that.
Looks like a slab of stone. Like somebody took concrete.
Delicious breakfast concrete. Bit.
That's got to be a pretty sharp knife.
And then you just put it on. You heat it up. You put it on toast. And a fun trivia fact shows up whenever you cut it open. Yeah, It is. It's just loaf. Right. It's loaf sausage.
I don't like that either. I don't like that. It doesn't make me feel better about it.
Shout out to Loaf, the Wonder Bread, who unfortunately let me know last week. Yeah, it's for the iron stomach. Absolutely. But shout out to Loaf, the Wonder Bread, who now has to watch these on the replay because she works now in the morning. So good on you for working. But we miss you.
We miss you, Loaf.
Yeah, it'd be really good with mayo. Slide on mayo on there. It'd be really tasty. Real quick, we're going to do our fact of the day and our trivia question because we have an amazing musical guest that we're going to get to right at the top of the show.
Yes.
So today's fact of the day is a spooky one, even though it's after Halloween. We're still keeping that spooky,
it's
flavor.
All of fall is spooky season.
It's true. But on this date in 1984, Wes Craven's horror film, little movie called A Nightmare on Elm Street, premiered in the USA. So, yeah, big fan of Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger scared the bejesus out of me as a kid. Still have nightmares about him occasionally. Like he's still one of those monsters that kind of creeps into my subconscious every now and again.
It's scary, Matt.
He's terrifying. It's terrifying. So
the concept is that he gives you nightmares, yeah,
and then kills you in said nightmares.
Your nightmares,
yes, because everyone knows if you die in your sleep, you die in real life.
Oh no!
That's the premise of many movies. But of course, the role of Freddy Krueger was made famous by Robert Englund. And that leads into our trivia question. He was not the first. He was not the first person for the role. Robert Englund has made the character, as I said, but he wasn't the director's first choice. Who was the British actor who passed up the role?
Oh my God! Please say Anthony Hopkins.
It's not Hugh Grant. I'll tell you that right off the bat. It's not Hugh Grant.
Oh my God! I don't think I could take a monster with his like very charming stumbling over words. I don't think that would work. As
charming. Even if he's covered in burns and has razors on his hands, it doesn't.
The movie would just end with one of the people he was haunted. They would just get married. It would turn into
they'd fall in love. And
there's no avoiding it if Hugh Grant is in the film. Although I did see him in The Gentleman, and it was a very different role for him. He had a very deep voice, and it tripped me. Like half the movie, I was just like adjusting to this.
Kit, I love that you're a Hugh Grant fan. Give me Hugh Grant in Love Actually, or nothing. Like that was probably my favorite part of that movie, which is coming up on time to watch that movie, which I'm very excited about.
The plays for All I Want for Christmas Is You have started to creep up. There's a chart, and it's a very clear.
Yeah.
I guess go the other way. Very clear mountain we're climbing right now.
Yeah, I was in Stop and Shop the other day, and they were just putting out all the Christmas stuff. It was like they were just putting out everything. This was like right before Halloween.
They did it. The day after Halloween. Like there was no chance to go get discount candy. They were just like, it's Christmas candy now.
Yeah.
You don't get discount.
You don't get any.
I mean, I'm not mad about the Christmas season starting early. I think we need it. But I don't know. I would have liked that discount candy.
I do love the discount candy. You know what else I love? Speaking of segues, I love good music, and especially I love. I'm a big fan of bluegrass music, and I'm really excited about our first guest. Our first guest, an amazing musician. I found out about him earlier in the week, and I've been listening the last couple of days just nonstop to his band. The band that he is in is called Gangsta Grass. And please welcome to the show, Dan Whitener. Dan.
Hey, folks. How you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Dan.
How are you this morning?
I'm fine. How are you?
We're doing great. We're doing great. We've made it. It's bright and early.
Yeah.
And you're calling us from the. You said you were calling us from
the great state of New Jersey.
The great state of New Jersey.
I can hear New York and Philadelphia about equidistant from.
Yeah, it's pretty. Those two cities are pretty stoked right now.
Yep. Yeah. As you say, I'm a bluegrass musician, so New Jersey is pretty much the place to be when you think of bluegrass music.
Yeah, I've heard that New Jersey really is the birthplace of bluegrass. But I'm Dan, very excited to have you on the show. Now, you play with a band called Gangsta Grass,
right?
Mixing hip hop and bluegrass, which is just an amazing combo.
Really
I've heard bluegrass bands like cover like hip hop songs or rock songs or whatever, but they pretty much keep it all bluegrass. Whereas your band really melds the two together in a way that is unbelievable.
That's exactly right. And in a way, unfortunately, I can't replicate by myself this morning. So you'll just have to imagine the other half. But that's what we do. It's really a lot of fun. It's been tremendously rewarding for me as a bluegrass musician. I think it's a great thing to get to be able to do, to meld your music up with other styles like that.
Yeah. How did you get the idea to like, how did this kind of project come to fruition?
Well, it all goes back to this guy who calls himself Wrench, and he's the founder, producer. He puts all the beats together, and he had the ideas in his ears for a while, growing up listening to country music with his dad being from Oklahoma, and then he spent some time in California listening to the hip hop at the time, and so he's just been putting it together for a while. And he ended up doing the theme song to a show called Justified on FX that was a good several years back now. And that kind of kicked off the whole thing into not just being a studio project, but actually saying, what if we took live musicians and tried to do this with MCs rapping, and then also like banjo players and fiddle players, and kind of trading it back and forth. And it turned out to work really well. It's a lot of fun to do live.
Yeah, like I said, I've been listening to it the last couple of days, and it's just a cool kind of, because it melds better than you would ever think that it would.
Exactly. Kind of like Scrapple, I think, if you really.
Oh.
Are you a Scrapple fan, Dan? I know I mentioned it was Scrapple Day, and you knew what it was.
I knew what it was. No, I had that beer once. I think Dogfish Head made a breakfast beer. Everybody has a breakfast beer, but Dogfish Head actually put Scrapple in their breakfast beer.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, everyone has a breakfast beer?
Sure, Chloe, come on.
I mean, Chloe, what do you think? What do you think this is?
When did this trend start? I completely breakfast beers.
Chloe, we don't have time to talk about breakfast beer quite as in this depth, but we'll put a pin in it.
That's fair. Well,
I want to talk about breakfast beer.
So it's really popular right now to meld different kinds of music. We're transitioning back to music. That's what I'm doing right now. I can't have gluten. Okay. I miss these things. Anyway. So it's really popular right now to like blend music and to like have genre defying stuff on the radio these days. But like you guys have been doing it for
at least 10 years now.
At least 10 years now. Quite a while. You guys are ahead of the curve.
Outstanding.
Yeah, I think so. And we don't really mind when like people like Lil Nas X come along and kind of, people seem to discover it for the first time, because he's doing largely what we've been doing, and it'll all, I think, help us out in the end. And we're into it.
Yeah, giving you guys a bump, maybe.
But you also have a solo album coming out, yeah? Or do you have a?
Yeah. I put out a few tracks. Every few years I like to do my own thing, fit it in there with our busy schedule. So I've got some new stuff coming up, and I'll see if I can't play one of those in a second. But I wanted to start off with actually a song it's not mine. I didn't write it, but I really love it. It's one of my favorites. You may recognize it if you're a fan of the video game Fallout New Vegas. I picked it up off of the soundtrack there. But it was actually written recently. They go back and use like early 40s, 50s stuff, but they hired these folks to I think write this song for the game. It's just such a terrific one. I know we want to keep things relatively light and apolitical here, but this is a song about a man leaving a house.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds legit.
Yeah. Anyway, this is if now's a good time, if I may.
Absolutely, let's do it.
Here's a song called "I'm Moving Out." Tell me what's in a kiss. If your heart's not in it, we could have wedded bliss. If we'd only begin it, feeling low down. You know what I'm talking about. You let the blues move in, now I'm moving out. This old house ain't a home with no love inside it. Started out pretty strong, now we just can't fight it. I'm leaving today. I don't wanna argue or shout. No, you let the blues move in, now I'm moving out. What's the use in buying a car if you won't buy gasoline? We used to be 2 under par, now we can't get on the green. I don't know when, but it sure went a flying. Love's like dough that's been spent. Now there's no use in crying. Tell me, where can I go? East or west or north or due south? Well, hell, you let the blues move in, now I'm moving out. What's the use in buying a car if you won't buy gasoline? We used to be 2 under par, now we can't get on the green. I don't know where it went, but it sure went a flying. Love's like dough that's been spent. Now there's no use in crying. Tell me, where can I go? East or west or north or due south? Well, you let the blues move in, now I'm moving out. You let the blues move in, now I'm moving out.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, now I'm going to have to replay Fallout New Vegas. That's probably what I'm going to do the rest of the afternoon.
It's a killer.
It's so good. It's so good. Already you've lifted the chat's spirits.
Yeah, it's a sad song. I don't understand how anybody would be happier after listening to that song. About the blues moving in and about not making it onto the green. It's not a topical song in any way. I didn't even really think about that.
Now I know you said that you have new baby duty here in just a few minutes, and as you can hear, my dogs are going crazy right now.
They
just love bluegrass so much they want to sing with you. Do you have time for one more?
Sure, I'll put one in quickly. This is going to be one I wrote earlier, around the beginning of this year, and it'll be on the upcoming EP. But make sure to check out Gangstagrass. Check out the links. We've got a Twitch channel of our own over there. Our recent album, No Time for Enemies, came out in August and has hit the #1 on the bluegrass charts, despite having hip hop elements in it.
Oh wow,
that's awesome.
So this will just be off my solo thing. I really appreciate you folks having me on this morning.
absolutely.
This is maybe a little bit of song about empathizing with folks where they're at, and why they might do things that are not in their best interests. This is a song called "If They Could Put That in a Bottle, I'd Be Drinking That Instead." There's a bar on the corner that never runs dry, where I sit with my whiskey and ask myself why. But the whiskey says nothing, 'cause whiskey can't talk. They don't have anything stronger in stock. If they could put that in a bottle, I'd be drinking that instead. Now I drown out the aching in my heart with the pounding in my head. Well, the whiskey just won't do. It's not the same as being with you. If they could put that in a bottle, I'd be drinking that instead. I asked for a cocktail to remind me of you. Love and understanding and happiness too. But the mixture ain't right and it tastes watered down. And I've spoken to every bartender in town. If they could put that in a bottle, I'd be drinking that instead. Now I drown out the aching in my heart with the pounding in my head. Well, the whiskey just won't do. It's not the same as being with you. If they could put that in a bottle, I'd be drinking that instead. What I want is warm and bubbly, refreshing, cool and still. You wouldn't have to cut me off, I'd drink till I had my fill. What I want's that funny feeling when she takes me by the hand. And if you've never tasted it, you wouldn't understand. If they could put that in a bottle, I'd be drinking that instead. Now I drown out the aching in my heart with the pounding in my head. Well, the whiskey just won't do. It's not the same as being with you. If they could put that in a bottle, I'd be drinking that instead. If they could put that in a bottle, I'd be drinking that instead.
All right, Dan.
Oh, I
Thanks so
love
much, folks.
that.
Appreciate it.
Dan, thank you so much for coming by and playing some tunes and chatting with us this morning. Dan Whitener, you can find all his stuff there on the bottom. Check out his band Gangsta Grass and the new album No Time for Enemies. Also check out Dan's solo work. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So Dan, have fun with the newborn, and hopefully we'll have you back soon.
Appreciate it, folks.
Thanks, Dan. Bye-bye.
Bye, Dan.
Oh, so good.
Oh, I love that.
What a way to start the morning. And yeah, it's just so much fun. And check out I was listening to this album they made in 2015 called American Music, and it is it's fire. It's so good.
Yeah. I was listening I was listening to the new album, and like I said, a lot of like genre crossing stuff. I get like a lot of different vibes from the different songs. Like I've felt some like Nelly country grammar type vibes. It's so good. Y'all gotta listen to it.
Y'all just gotta listen to it.
Y'all just gotta put it on your Spotify.
It's justified.
It's justified.
It's justified. All right, let's get into some YouTube. And Chloe, I'm very excited about YouTube today. I'm just an excitable person this morning. I think it's because of the coffee. I think maybe the coffee got brewed a little strong this morning.
And what kind of coffee are you drinking, Matt?
What? Thank you for asking. I am, in fact, of course, drinking Red Barn Coffee Roasters. They're fantastic. I love that we do have a little. I forget this is a Twitch. I forget that we do have a little bit of a sponsor.
Yeah.
If you go to redbarncoffeeroasters.com, put your order in, type in the code Hello World, you get 15% off your coffee. They'll ship it anywhere in the country, so you don't have to be from Massachusetts to get it, and they ship it real quick. So right now, I think I'm just. They have something called a Jack's Abbey blend, which is a blend that they use for Jack's Abbey Brewery. They make up like a porter or
breakfast beer.
Just like a coffee. It's a coffee stout is what it is.
Okay, I'm starting to understand breakfast beer more.
Yes. Breakfast beer. It has eggs and bacon and
Red Barn coffee.
Red Barn coffee. So that's a little promo there.
Yeah.
But now we're up to the segment of YouTube, and where Chloe and I find videos to show each other that will hopefully make us laugh. Chloe, you went first last week, so I'm going to show mine this week. Very excited. This is off of the good old standby College Humor. Love College Humor. They're doing some really funny stuff right now, and this has probably some of my favorite people in some of my favorite character actors that are working right now.
Favorite faces
into this. So this is If Google Was a Guy.
Next! Come on! What up, Google? Electric outlets look surprised. Why?
Because
millipedes 10 times faster than centipedes? Baby powder made out of babies?
you know that it's not. Well, hello there, young man.
Big booty Puerto Rican goddess.
Taxes have to pay. Why?
What is YOLO?
Is that your kid's phone?
Is YOLO a drug?
Siri, how big is the Serengeti?
Yeah,
no problem. Show me pictures of spaghetti.
No, that's not what she asked for. Your search for return no results.
Vaccines cause autism?
Well, I have 1 million results that say they don't, and 1 result that says they do.
I knew it.
Just because I have it doesn't mean it's true!
300-pound beautiful Indian princess.
What's a surfboard?
Do you mean surfboard?
No, surfboard.
Oh. Do dead people pay taxes?
I don't want to get to the deep web.
Follow me.
Google?
You're here.
Google.com.
That is me.
Google.com website.
Eh?
Finally.
I'll make people think you died.
Sonic the Hedgehog pics.
The old Sega video game?
Safe search off.
What have you done?
How big is the Serengeti?
More pictures of spaghetti. More pictures of
Not
spaghetti.
what she asked for. That is not what she asked for.
Serengeti?
Why don't Asian
Have small noses, wear face masks, have small eyes, have small penises.
pandas have trouble mating in captivity? Jesus.
It's not me, it's them.
Where'd you buy a lifelike bearded mannequin?
Sorry, I don't see spaghetti in your contacts.
Biggest, sexiest woman in all of Iraq.
Difference between human body and a mannequin. Oh my God. Clear history.
Oh, and that's like there are like there's like 6 of those, or more than that. There's so many of these.
Yeah, no, that's one of my favorite things to do, to like start typing something in on Google and see what the automatic ones are.
Yeah. It's not.
It worries
it's
me
not
a little bit
it's them.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Is YOLO a drug?
No, but it can certainly lead to drugs.
Yeah. And that actor that plays Google, he's so
funny.
good.
I love seeing him angry. He
Yeah.
does it so well.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie? Have you seen the show Preacher?
No.
On AMC. He's in Preacher for a little bit, and it is disturbing. It is it's disturbing. Anyway, what do we have today? What do you have for me today, Chloe?
I got another TikTok sensation for you.
Love me some TikTok.
Yeah. These are some characters as old as time itself.
I'm excited. And yeah, just let me know when to, unless you want to play the whole 9 minutes of this. But
yeah, we don't need to do that. We'll just watch a few of them.
Yeah.
They're smaller clips, right? It's a compilation.
Gabriel, put water everywhere. Oh, no. I get it. That's smart. That way they can have it whenever they get thirsty, whenever they need it. See, that's why you in charge. Make it undrinkable. You see that log floating out there? Yeah. What about it? Fill it with teeth. Say again? Fill it! No, okay, so the hair goes on the outside. Yes, Gabriel. And the milk on the inside. Yes, Gabriel. Oh, like a mammal! No, I've made tons of mammals. Why didn't you just say that? Well, not quite.
The coconut was first discovered by Marco Polo.
Can I make it swim? Michael, what if we blend together a duck and a beaver? Michael, it's a joke. I'm kidding. You're kidding.
Oh, that is fantastic.
He has so many, and they're all so delightful.
Oh yeah, I'm 100% gonna watch the rest of those after the show. That's fantastic. Wait, blobfishes are normal fish. The picture was just being yanked out of its pressurized environment. Okay.
Is it? Is that?
Well, I don't know. We should look up.
Do you know what a blobfish looks like?
I don't, but we can look.
It looks like a man melted. And then, just the face.
Okay, so here's pictures of the blobfish.
Yeah.
In natural habitat. That's what it looks like. Okay.
Oh, wow. It does look like a normal fish.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
learned something today.
Yeah. And it's just really disturbing. Thank you, Rachel. I'm not going to be able to get that out of my head for the remainder of the day and probably into my nightmares.
Right along with Freddy Krueger.
Right along with it's going to be Freddy Krueger and a blobfish hanging out.
Just chilling on your couch.
Straight up chilling on my couch.
Watching Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes. Watching Nightmare on Elm Street. And and for some reason I have to make them both grilled cheese sandwiches. And I don't.
And Freddy Krueger's like, wait, watch this part.
Yeah. I'm like, no, the sandwiches are burning. Yeah. It's a repeating nightmare that I have all the time. And that also shows you what kind of stress and pressure can do to a person.
It's true.
Oh, the blobfish is Freddy Krueger.
Oh no!
I get it. All right, enough Freddy Krueger talk.
Okay.
We do still have that trivia question, so we'll get to that in a little bit. But let's do some birthdays right now.
Oh, birthdays!
Do you have any friends that have birthdays? Chloe,
there we
I'm
go.
upset that you have a party. You have to send me a party hat now.
Well, I'm wearing a party hat, Matt, because It's my birthday this
It's
week.
It's your birthday this week.
It's my birthday.
Hey!
Look how cute this hat is.
Oh, Chloe's birthday is on Wednesday. So everyone in the chat right now, wish Chloe a happy early birthday.
Yay!
That's fantastic.
I love birthdays.
Well, welcome to having a quarantine birthday. It's not. It's just as fun as a regular birthday because there are less people around, and you get to enjoy more cake.
Okay, well that's fair. That's a positive.
Yeah,
I'm actually very excited. My roommate my roommate and I are gonna make a red velvet cake.
Ooh.
And by we, I mean she's gonna make it and I'm gonna supervise and maybe go grab some ingredients if we're out of something.
Which is very important. The sous chef is a very important part of the kitchen.
Yeah.
There you go, Chloe. Look at all those happy birthdays from the chat. I love you. As well they should. But so let's birthdays today.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Today we have Lou Ferrigno, the original
Hulk.
Incredible Hulk.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday, Lou.
He loves birthdays too.
He does. The Hulk loves birthdays. Also, rapper Scarface, Brad Terrence Jordan. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Scarface.
Happy birthday, Scarface.
And then let's see, birthdays for the week. Tuesday, Tim Rice and Ellen Pompeo and Warren G.
Ellen Pompeo.
Pompeo, that's what I said.
From Grey's Anatomy fame.
From Grey's Anatomy fame. Let's see. Wednesday, Chloe shares her birthday with Demi Moore and Leo DiCaprio.
And Stanley Tucci.
Ooh, Stanley Tucci.
Kurt Vonnegut. And General George Patton.
There we go. And then Thursday, Neil Young and Sammy Sosa. Friday, Whoopi Goldberg, Steve Zahn, and Governor Charlie Baker.
Governor Charlie Baker.
Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker.
He's going to bake a cake?
Probably not. Somebody might bake a cake for him, though.
He gave up on the family family business, the baker business, and went on to do politics.
Yeah. If we go by the original rule that your last name has to be what you do for a living, then yes, he gave up his career as a very successful baker.
My last name means two fields, so my family were either farmers or just, I don't know, field watchers, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Just hang out in the field all day, checking things out, making sure there's no gophers anywhere.
And my last name is Fear. So,
are you related to Freddy Krueger?
I might be. He might be a very distant relative. No, my family would just we would hide in barrels, and then when people would walk by, we would just pop up.
Yeah,
that was our job.
Yeah, that will create lots of fear. You're a fear maker, fear monger.
I'm a fear monger. No, that's awful to say.
Ooh.
All right, let's keep the show moving. We don't want to derail. We don't want to derail too much. I'm very excited about our next guest. I'm cannot wait to bring this woman on to chat. She's going to have so much to say because, I mean, hopefully she will have a lot to say because we have to fill.
You're putting a lot of pressure on her now, Matt.
Yeah, I'm so much pressure. Let's just bring her out. Please welcome to the show, Jaya Sundaresh. Jaya, good morning.
Hi, everyone. Hey, hello, world. Yes.
Welcome.
Yeah, we think very highly of ourselves here, thinking that the whole world is watching.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, I guess they could eventually. Yeah. So, Jay, how are you this morning?
I'm good. That musical interlude was lovely. When I quit drinking, I got really into drinking songs for some reason. Just nostalgia, I figured it was like, drinking was like 75% lore and 25% hangover for me.
Yeah.
So, I just
you can hang on to the lore part.
Yeah, I can hang on to the lore part, the self-destructive, angry, cool, badass,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The leather jacket and sunglasses.
Yeah, totally. That's me.
Yeah, so you can hear about the drink, but it doesn't make you want to drink, which is...
It actually doesn't. And I just found a bar around the corner that I just moved to this neighborhood. I'm in upstate New York. I'm in Troy, New York. And I just found this bar on the corner. It's run by this young woman called Jo, and it's called Joe's Place. And it just seems like the nicest little dive bar. I'm so excited to go there.
I mean, that sounds, just the name of it sounds like a delightful little dive bar.
Yeah, I'm really
Joe's
stoked.
Place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to have a little local establishment within walking distance.
Yes.
So you mentioned you just moved. Where did you move from?
So I was originally in New York City. I was finishing up a graduate degree in journalism. And I meant to stay in New York through the summer and then move somewhere, but pandemic.
Pandemic. So I wanted to
a lot
ask,
of plans.
Speaking of pandemic, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and
Sure.
how you've been spending your pandemic?
Oh boy. Yeah. I'm a journalist. I'm working on a bunch of stories right now. I'm a freelance journalist. I'm working on this monster essay about Rage Against the Machine right now. Which is, as you're all really excited. That's good. Because it's an exciting thing. I'm also working on a big story about, do you remember the race fakers a couple months ago?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like all the people who came out of the woodwork who were actually white and who had been claiming POC status this entire time.
Oh no.
And there was, basically Rachel Dolezal, but
yeah,
writ large.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently there are more.
There was Jessica Krug, who was a famous Africana studies professor who turned out to be not Black, just totally faking, pretending to be light skinned. She was a white woman.
That blows my mind.
It feels like a lot of work to me.
It is. It's a ton of work. But there was some psychosis there, probably. But also, she was just a shitty person. I think we can all admit. And then there was CV Vitolo Haddad, who came next, who is has been claiming to be POC, but is actually white. And that is the story I am working on. I'm working on a big deep dive. I have been very close to CV. I've spoken to CV over the course of months at this point.
Oh,
and I'm just waiting for someone to pick it up. If not, I'll self-publish, but I don't want to.
Right. Yeah, because it's much better to have someone
pay me.
Pay you to do that instead
for all this work I've been doing.
Putting it out and then being like, well, maybe some money will come in after. No. Get that upfront money.
Yeah. I'm working on that. Other than that, I've got a Substack that's ticking along. I kind of paused it because honestly, I'm just pandemic.
There's a lot happening.
I don't have what it takes to run something that regularly, especially with the local reporting duties I have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So real quick, for the viewers that don't know, what is a Substack?
Was honest to God, I was just about to ask. I was like, what's a Substack?
Sorry.
I checked it out.
I know. I know what it is. I'm looking.
I didn't know before.
But yeah.
It's like the newsletter thing that all the independent journalists are doing these days. You can sign up and you get a digest or however often they send it. The person sends it. I have a good time with it. I write op-ed. I once wrote a whole piece about how I want to boink Amy Klobuchar, which a lot of people thought was very funny. Thank you for that.
Is Amy? I've heard that name before.
Amy Klobuchar, the senator from Minnesota.
That's right. That's where I've heard it. So
behind her steel gray eyes lies a very scary woman, and I'd like to explore.
Well, we actually have a person on our game show that runs tonight. She's just been winning like crazy. Her name's Brandy Brown. She is in a feud with Amy Klobuchar.
Oh, good for her.
So
I wish I was in a feud with Amy Klobuchar.
Because of many things, but it started with her saying that the Minnesota State Fair was not the best state fair in the country.
And that is a huge slight to a Midwestern state.
Yeah, especially when it's your state.
Yeah.
Like you just say it. You just say it. Whether or not you believe it or not, you just say it.
We have the best state fair. Wisconsin has the best state fair.
Yeah. I have no opinion on state fairs. I'm a northerner. We have better things going on than the fattest pigs.
Oh, hot take on state fair.
No, it's actually not that hot because
you got better stuff to do than deep fry a stick of butter.
You know what? Maybe we don't. I do live in upstate.
As a child, the Illinois State Fair, I had a bat house that got sent to the Illinois State Fair, and I got a blue ribbon on it.
Oh, congratulations!
Which I hear is a good color of ribbon.
Yeah, I used to get the yellow participant ribbons a lot.
Oh, I got a ton of those.
Oh yeah. I actually I have like an old diary from when I was a child, and I like nicely saved the yellow participant ribbon, and I was like, what the hell? Did I not know what that meant?
The things that are important to us as children.
Yeah.
Rachel wants to hear more about the boinking essay.
Oh yeah. It was basically just it was like the first one I published. It was basically just like, I really would like a older woman. I can't say it without laughing.
That's the point.
We're here with you. We're gonna be. Yeah.
Right. Like I saw her on election night wearing blue eyeshadow. And I was just like, oh, it's so Amy, because it was I feel like I have a deep understanding of this woman's psyche because I've spent she's so mean. She's such a, can I say the B word?
Oh, absolutely. It's low cussing, not no cussing. So.
Low cussing.
Okay. She's a bitch, folks. She's a mean, nasty woman, and I want her to just discipline me. And that's all we're gonna say.
Incredible.
I'm trying to. Usually, Mike is here to throw up delightful images and things like that, but he had a very important work thing today, so it's been left up to me. And I found some pictures of her.
Oh my gosh!
And I just want to try to find the one with this eyeshadow that you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. It was on MSNBC. It was like on Saturday night or Friday night. Oh no, it was on Tuesday night. It was actual election day.
Okay.
Yeah, she just, there's nothing going on behind her eyes.
Yeah, that's
she's got dead eyes. She smiles, but her eyes stay the same. And personally, I find that very attractive in a woman.
Yeah.
Hey,
low-key terrifying.
Low-key terrifying.
She's the worst boss ever. Like, no, like on a serious tip, like she's the worst person ever, and I don't actually want to boink her, but
so it's
I
fiction. What you're saying is it's fiction.
It's fan fiction, y'all. Like
political fan fiction.
Yeah, she's the worst person ever, and I actually hate her. But yeah, so that's some of the goodies you'll find on Substack. Some humor, some actual, like I've written some stuff on like cancel culture and just general op-eds and commentary on the day's events and stuff.
So for someone that has never read any of your work, where would you suggest? What's your favorite piece that you can be like, this is like the perfect story to get me?
Probably go to Jaya time because that's where my personality is. I would say some of the stories I have upcoming, the stuff I've written for Current Affairs is pretty good, if I do say so myself. I wrote a piece on Hamilton and Ishmael Reed that people seem to like. Ishmael Reed wrote a play that was very critical of Hamilton. And I reported on that play. And I don't have a link to that right now, but I can get you that.
Yeah, if you send us that link, we'll definitely post it. Another question from Rachel in the chat, because I mean she's the best question asker. I should have her on here doing these interviews instead of me. She's wonderful. What's something that you love about being a journalist?
I love the fact that I'll give you one thing I love and one thing I hate.
Yes, please.
One thing I love is that I get to learn for a living. It's very fun. I really enjoy it. The thing I hate about it is that it's not much money. And I am currently broke as hell. And if it wasn't for my darling partner, I'd be out on the street. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I'm this close to going to Target and getting seasonal labor, which I'm excited about. It's exercise. It's it's stocking shelves.
I think that working retail. I think that working retail is should be a necessary part of everyone's evolution. Either working in the service and working as a waiter or working in retail, because you really, there are some parts that are really fun about it, and it's really nice to just have a mindless task to do. Yeah. But it's also, you learn so much about other humans.
I would give anything.
I did the service industry for a very long time, and this is the first time I'm doing retail. So,
strap in. It's a good time. I would give anything right now to just stand behind an espresso machine and just make people's espresso drinks right now. To me, I used to it used to just, you just get in there and you've been doing it for a few hours and you're like, oh, it makes and just be like, I would love to be doing anything other than this. And then all of a sudden you can't do this. And you're like, oh, okay.
Guess I'll just stay home then.
Guess I'll just stay home then. So as far as with this, the pandemic and everything going on, have you found that how difficult is interviewing people now? Is it easier because you they're home, so you can get a hold of them, or is it harder?
I've shifted to a lot of phone and WhatsApp interviews and stuff like that, which is perfectly easy. I record with permission usually most of my. I
like that you said usually.
If it's an antagonistic interview and it's legal, because it varies state by state, I don't necessarily always ask for permission, but I don't do very many antagonistic interviews these days. So, I am also part of an organization called Albany Proper, which eats up some of my time. It's a local news organization that's trying to report on upstate New York. So I've been doing a lot of reporting through them. Before that, I was running Them and Us, which is another media organization that reports on upstate New York. But we merged with Albany Proper. That's just how the meatloaf gets made. And
the scrapple, if you will.
The scrapple, if you will.
Scrapple.
That was terrible.
It's like news.
Yeah. But there've been, the BLM protests have kind of died down in this area. But we have had quite a few, and it wasn't that hard getting interviews. It was just normal. It's just you can't lip read because everyone's behind a mask.
Right.
Yeah.
So I assume that you've done some antagonistic interviews. Do any stick out in your mind? Do you remember any that are in particular that were just oh, I didn't expect this person to be a jackass, but they were?
Yeah, mostly local stuff. Nice people cried on the interview. and made me feel so bad I almost cried. That was when I was NICET is a local teachers union, because I was reporting on their they talk a big game about supporting LGBTQ rights and everything, but then they go and support like viciously anti-trans politicians. So I was just reporting on that discrepancy, and they were like, "How dare you call us on this?" And they were clearly trying to bully like a young, inexperienced reporter, and it was just like, "Bitch, I'm not."
I'm not your friend.
Praise me. I'm not your friend. This is not PR.
Yeah.
You thought this was PR. You best think again. You know?
If you wanted PR, you should have hired a PR person to do an interview.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a reporter.
I've had people get really pissed at me before, but I once had this is in grad school, but I had a superintendent in a public one of the public districts in New York City just scream at me in front of like all of his staff, like, "What you did is not journalism." I was just like, you walk away from those and you're like, yes, I earned my stripe. That's what they don't understand. Like, we are contrarians. We are not like pleasant people usually if you're a bad person, or if you're just like a person who's done something, you know, we're like, we ferret out that stuff. It's a fun job, I'm not gonna lie, but it's barely a job at this point with what it's paying me. But it is a work of passion, I have to say.
Do you have any like big like I mean, I'm sure you have huge aspirations, which is, but what's your like dream journalism gig?
That's a hard question because I don't really want a job.
Oh, that makes sense.
My dream journalism job is to literally just write my stories as a freelancer and get paid enough to live. And my mom is gonna freak out when she hears that. When she hears I don't want to work for like The Intercept or anything.
So are there any particular like publications that you would just be like, if I got published in this publication, I'd
be hyped.
I would be
New York Times Magazine. Give it to me now.
Yeah.
I'll make some calls.
Yeah, I love long form. I haven't had the opportunity to publish much of my long form. But I've got like, oh man, if I could get into Gawker, haha, they don't exist anymore.
I found that out a few weeks ago when I said someone worked for Gawker, and they're like, "Nope, Gawker doesn't exist anymore." I was like, "Well, I
should probably call that person and see how they're doing."
R.I.P. Gawker. You know, I've been really aiming at New York Magazine lately, so I'd like to get in there. You know, I just everywhere. Please take my work.
Yeah, well, talk to Rachel about that. She's really good about you know, getting people on things and getting things out there. So I'm sure she would be able to pull some strings on her Twitter and make it happen.
Cool.
I do want to ask you a little bit about the big article that you're working on. What is it like talking to someone who's just like taking on this other identity every day? Like, do they seem like is like a normal person, or?
Yeah, what's weird about CV is that they don't really think they do think they've done something wrong, but it's complicated because they don't see themselves as white. They've always been read, according to them, as ethnically ambiguous. And they are full-blooded Sicilian, you know, Italian, and they've always thought that meant that they were a little bit not white. Which is complicated.
Yeah.
Very complicated. Basically, you know the monologue in True Romance, if you've seen True Romance, the movie, where
I have, but it's been years.
Dennis Hopper at one point tries to get the Sicilian mob guy to kill him fast rather than slow. So he says a bunch of racist stuff about Sicilians.
I see.
Yeah. And CV has taken that and turned it into their life story. That monologue from True Romance, like not intentionally or knowledgeably, but they have done that. And so it's just kind of interesting reflection on what is, what does accountability look like for someone who isn't really sure if they've done anything wrong. And it's going to be a really complicated, juicy story. There's a lot of moving parts because CV is also an anti-fascist researcher. They are Antifa, and they have a ton of people who are rooting for them to fail, including other Antifa people. So it's a complex story with a lot of moving parts, and I just hope I can pull it off.
Yeah.
I just imagine somewhere in your house you have a giant like cork board with strings attached to pins.
Yeah, I'm just like, this is that. No.
What does it mean? This whole thing does sound fascinating. I hope it. I mean, we're all pulling for you. We all hope that it gets picked up because that sounds like it would be an amazing read.
The cut. Everyone cross your fingers and say the cut.
The cut. So let's see. Oh, Bella. Love Bella. She's someone that's been watching the show for a while. They just started their own show on 2MB Studios, Tall Tale, Short Tale, which had their first show on Saturday. It was really, really a lot of fun. They ask, do you go along with their false race, or can you communicate without committing to one or the other? Like, how do you kind of?
They know that I don't believe they're white. That I don't believe they're of color. Mm-hmm. We have a pretty tight relationship at this point. It's kind of weird, but
interesting.
They know, because like you don't get anywhere as a journalist if you just pretend to be objective and you pretend to take everyone's side. You go in there with a point of view. People respect you more if they know where you come from. So they know, I think, that they need to come to terms with reality a little bit. Right. But I also have a lot of sympathy for them because they've had a lot of identity crisis issues and a lot of trauma in their past. And, it's just, stuff's tough.
Yeah. Well, and it's something that Chimamanda Ngozi talks about is the danger of the single story, right? Because it is very easy to create a narrative that's just, this is the one thing about this person, and that's the thing we're talking about, and that's the whole thing. But that's almost never the case. And being able to put it in context is such an important skill as a writer.
Yeah, it's hard weaving everything together. Honestly, this last week, I've just taken a break from everything, and I'm writing my novel.
Ooh.
What do you work like? What's your novel? Talk to us about that.
Oh Lord, it's all right. So
I take it this isn't ready to be published.
It's not ready to be published, but it's a fun premise. So it's like, so all these reality TV shows are happening, and there's always a villain in every reality TV show.
Yeah.
There's always like someone who's edited to look like a jerk. There's Aparna from Indian Matchmaking. There's others who I can't come up with right now. And so I was just really interested in like the private or the real lives of the people who are edited to look like a jerk. So I was thinking of focusing on one of these characters who has been edited to look like a jerk on its dating reality Netflix series. And the cameras leave. They were intending to find a boyfriend through this show, or she was intending to find a boyfriend through this show, and she didn't find a boyfriend, was the only person in the show who didn't find a boyfriend. Now all of America hates her.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's rough.
Picking up from there and just seeing, you know, and then she finds love in the most unexpected places, and it's a rom-com, and like I'm really excited.
Oh man, that sounds like
I am. Yeah,
that's amazing. Like that's really
it sounds like a bestseller, right?
right. Like
100%.
and it sounds like a book that gets turned into a movie.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. I'm not aiming for high literature here, folks. I'm looking for that paycheck.
Yeah, as long as you're enjoying writing it, that's all. As long as it's a good like release for you.
I love writing fiction. It's so easy compared to. I hate saying that, but it's so easy compared to writing journalism.
Oh man.
My gosh!
As someone that has just a hard time like writing in general, as far as like getting thoughts out onto a page that makes sense.
I wrote 3,000 words yesterday.
Wow!
Yeah, I have no idea.
Are you doing NaNoWriMo?
I'm not doing NaNoWriMo. I just wrote 3,000 words. I can't explain it.
That's amazing.
But that will not be repeated again for a long time. It was Sunday. I had nothing to do, but now I have things to do.
Yeah.
It's like those days that I take a really long walk and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not doing that anytime.
I'm not doing that again.
Take like a 5-mile walk and you're like, no, okay, no.
That's too far.
Yeah. So you are you a big reality TV show fan?
I am not. I've really only watched I've watched Indian Matchmaking. I've watched a couple others, but like 90 Day Fiance and stuff, but I can't really.
Yeah.
It's too fake, but it's also fun. It's kind of like a documentary, but like bimbo-fied.
Mm-hmm.
I got into Big Brother there was one season
really?
I watched the entire season of Big Brother from like start to finish, and I've never done that since. Like I always get like halfway through and I'm like, nah, I don't like any of these people.
There are a lot of people watching The Bachelorette this season that have not previously watched The Bachelorette.
What's the appeal?
What'd you say?
What's the appeal?
Personally, I don't know. I have trouble with reality TV because a lot of it is fake, but a lot of it is like, this person's probably close to this and it upsets me. But like, I think the community around it, like being able to talk about The Bachelorette and be like, oh my God, did you see what happened on the last episode?
Mm-hmm. The fandom, as it were. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But they absolutely make like edits and things to make people look like they're the sweetheart or they're the villain or things like that. My wife used to watch a ton of this show called The Challenge on it's an MTV reality contest show where it's like road rules and real world all kind of thrown in together to make and yeah, they do a lot of that. It's just like they'll edit people to be like the bad guys.
Yeah. People want a villain, and it's
people love a good villain.
It's not fair. People don't fit it. It's like the same thing with CV. Like CV did something fucked up. Sorry.
We're allowed at least one.
Oh, good. But they did something that wasn't great, but it's still a person at the end of the day, and they're not Rachel Dolezal or Jessica Krug. I believe they're in a different category.
Yeah. So. Well, and even you were talking about Aparna in Indian Matchmaking, and the producers make her out to be very, very picky, and she just
knows what she wants. She
knows what she wants, and I the more that I watched it, the more that I was like, I don't think it's wrong that she, like, I would probably be friends with her. She would probably be a person that I would go to when I need advice, or like if I felt weird about someone, I would go to her and she would be like, you don't need them. I'd be like, Aparna, you're right.
Aparna, you make sense, girl.
You make so much sense.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I don't think my character is going to be anything like Aparna. She's going to be significantly more of a mess. She's going to be, and I have to say that for legal reasons. Hello. It's also true. she's an alcoholic. She, you know, I love alcoholics. I love them. I love BoJack Horseman. I love.
Oh my gosh!
I love anyone with a substance abuse problem because I have one. Yay!
Yay!
Well, Jaya, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been just such a delight chatting with you. Please check out at Shut Up Jaya on Instagram. Yes?
No, Twitter.
That's Twitter. Sorry.
Yes.
And
then jayatime.substack.com for
the good
newsletter.
writing. It's good stuff.
Yeah, thank you. I also have an Instagram live show tonight at 9 p.m. With Andem Georgis. That's a long name, I know. He ran for Congress in a primary. He primaried Elliot Engel. Yeah, Andem for NY on IG. Just go there
tonight at
9 p.m. EST. And we do like a little live show. It's kind of a prelude to a podcast we're starting. So.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I saw that you have I saw the preview for it. What's this podcast called?
Oh, it's called First Gen Dropouts. Basically, he dropped out of the race. So he's an Eritrean American. He dropped out of the race. And I dropped out of college a whole bunch of times. So
yeah, that's what college is made.
Yeah, college.
Yeah. Part of the process.
Well, thank you, Jaya. Enjoy the rest of your day, and good luck with everything.
Thanks. See you guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Oh, what a great, just such a wonderful conversation there.
Cool.
Jaya Sundaresh. Check her stuff out.
Yes.
Oh, Chloe.
Matt.
We're almost done. Like the show is
we're almost there.
The last few little bits of the show. We need to do our trivia question. We need to.
Yes, I want to know the answer to this.
Let me check and see if he. Oh, he did. Wonderful. So the question is. The question was. Let's see. Who was the first choice to play Freddy Krueger? This British actor denied it or turned it down, and Robert Englund picked it right up. So let's see. The answer is actor David Warner.
David Warner. Who's
David Warner? You will, if you've seen Titanic, which most people have. He plays the bodyguard of the guy that plays the bad guy.
Fiance.
The fiance.
That was Billy Corgan?
No, it's Billy
not
Zane.
Billy Corgan. Billy Zane.
Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins.
So different. You're a cool guy, Billy Zane.
But no, it's Billy Zane.
The only reason I remember Billy Zane is from his cameo in Zoolander.
Right? No, Billy Zane was in a movie called Demon Knight, which was a Tales from the Crypt feature. Yeah. But no, David Warner was also in he was in a movie called Time Bandits, where he played the villain in Time Bandits. And he played Jack the Ripper in Time After Time, with Malcolm McDowell as H.G. Wells, who invents a time machine, and then he follows Jack the Ripper and falls in love with Mary Steenburgen.
Falls in love with Jack the Ripper.
He falls in love with Jack the Ripper, who's played by David Bowie. But this is what so this is what Freddy Krueger looks like now. That's Robert Englund. But this is what they actually got as far as doing like a makeup test for David Warner, and this is what he would have looked like.
Oh wow!
Equally as terrifying.
I'm still scared.
That's equally as terrifying. Not a yeah. So that is your trivia question for today.
It's great. It's a great question. Great answer.
It's great. So Chloe, what do you got going on the rest of the week? You have anything? You have anything happening?
Well, you know, my
besides your birthday.
Let's see what's coming up. Deadlift and the Slamazon.
That's right. Deadlift won the honor. Now, for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, Chloe has a character in the Quarantine Action Wrestling universe called Deadlift.
Yes, she is terrifying.
She is terrified. You're not wrong there.
Yeah, very strong. And there was a fight to determine. So the Slamazon, also very terrifying, was looking for a tag team partner. Deadlift jumped in to the competition and won the whole thing. And so now we are the Valkyries.
Oh, I love that so much. We need to have Jess on the show. We need to talk to our producer Rachel about getting Jessica on the show. The woman that plays the Slamazon, just so we can. I want to dive into this. That sounds like a very fun interview.
Yes.
So now. One of the groups we're working with at 2MB Studios is 3 week stock courses, and Chloe teaches a class for 3 week stock courses, and you're in your second week right now, or third? Is this the second or third week?
This is my second. This is the second week. It's only 3 classes long. It's a nice little bite-sized chunk of knowledge. Something to get your brain going, stimulated during quarantine. And I'm teaching a class called Less Pain, More Gain. And it's about making a workout your own. It's your body, it's your workout. And if you are feeling any kind of joint pain, it turns out that's not super good for you.
Right.
So a lot of what I do is talk about different options. So if you're doing a core exercise and it's painful, here's a couple other examples of stuff that you can do. But yeah, so it's really cool, and it's really fun. We have a good time. It's very interactive, and you learn a lot.
Yeah. So go to 3 week stock courses. Like I said, there are two courses through, so they're 2/3 of the way done. They'll have one more class, and then I'm assuming that new classes will start in a couple weeks
in December. Yeah, it's great because it's low commitment,
And if we're anything right now, low commitment, because we never know when we're going to have to. We never know if we have to leave the house and get to Canada as quickly as possible. Like, we're fine now. I think we're going to be okay. But
we're going to be okay.
You never know. January is a long way off.
It's too far.
Yeah, staying positive.
Here's what I'm looking forward to is whenever it starts to get, when daylight savings times come around and it starts to get darker, I remind myself that the winter solstice it's only a month away at this point, and then the days will start getting longer again.
Yeah, it is weird though having it be dark at like 4:30.
It surprises me every year. It happens the same way.
Yeah, every year.
Every year.
But we just forget about it by the summer solstice. We're like, "Oh, daylight's awesome," and then we're like, "Oh yeah, it goes away." So we're almost out of time. I want to talk about. We have a brand new show coming out tonight, which I'm very excited. So Mondays are kind of our talk show game show day here at 2MB Studios. And we have at 8:00 we have Poof, the magical game show, which is run by two wonderful dummies, Robert Bacon and Nate Lopez, just two very, very funny people.
Then we have dummies you'll ever meet.
Yes, and then we have Run On, hosted by Ben Scuria, with myself as his co-host, and his Vanna to his Pat, and then we have Genuine Nonsense with Kelly McFarland at 10. But before Poof, now we've added a new game show at 7:00. Yes, it's called That Sounds Right, is what this
I love that so much.
Yes. And it's hosted by a duo by the name of Misinformation and Will Actually will be hosting the show, played by the those aren't real, they're characters, just so you know, they're characters.
Like Deadlift is a character.
Like Deadlift is a character, yes. Played by the amazing duo of Kaylee Kane and Tim Booker. So this is just going to be a delightful show. And this is the game show where you will get the contestants will get questions, and it doesn't matter if they are right. It just matters if they sound right. But you'll learn something too, because we do have a fact checker in there that will give you the right answers.
I gotta go on that show. This is like the perfect show for me because I'm incredible at pretending to know things.
Chloe's really good at pretending to know everything.
I didn't even realize that I did this. But when we had Kelly McFarland on the show, she pointed it out because she was saying something. And I was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, what is that?" And that's just something that I do because I want people to feel welcome and comfortable and to keep talking about what they're excited about. But I actually don't know what's going on.
So hopefully you'll see Chloe on the show. I mean, you'll have to.
I think I'd crush that.
Yeah. You might have to have an in with one of the producers of the show.
Shoot.
Maybe. I don't know. So tune into that at 7:00 tonight. That will be the premiere of that show. So please that's a Facebook thing. If you're on Facebook, like the video that you're watching. Right now. And thank you for watching on Facebook. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button and the subscribe button if you want to help support the channel. It's $4.99 a month to subscribe at tier 1 subscriptions, only $4.99 a month. And if you have Amazon Prime, it's included. So you just have to connect your Amazon Prime to your Twitch account
and resubscribe every month.
Yeah, got to resubscribe every month. I need to do that. Thank you for reminding me.
It's about who you know, not what you pretend to know. Thank you. Yeah.
Exactly. So definitely follow, subscribe, and then once you follow and subscribe, you'll get a little email when we go live with what's going on. Monday's great night, but we have shows 7 days a week on 2MB Studios.
Goodness gracious!
We're coming, Chloe. Do you know how many shows we have on this channel coming up? Like in the coming weeks, we will have up to 27 shows on this channel.
Wow!
It's ridiculous.
That's incredible.
Yeah, the production team is working so hard at bringing new shows to the channel, and I'd like to just give a huge shout out to Rachel for working so hard to get these new shows, and Ben, and just I couldn't do this without them. So it's so wonderful to have such a wonderful team working on putting out content for people, because days are getting shorter, starting to get colder. We're gonna want to hunker in and be with friends on.
Throw your shawl on internet. And put on that 2MB Studios.
Absolutely. So until next week, it's been a delight. Have a wonderful week. And goodbye, world.
Goodbye, world.
I just have to find the button now. Here it is. Bye.